The following clip is from the North to South Show, live every Monday and Wednesday at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, where we talk SEC football everything. Now, we'd love to have you out for next show, but for now, hit that like button down below, hit that subscribe button, and enjoy this clip of ranking the SEC quarterbacks. Because the SEC quarterbacks, we got a lot of talented guys in here. Obviously, we lose a couple guys last season. We lose your Mac Jones. We lose your Kyle Trask. We lose Felipe Franks from Arkansas. We lose Kellen Mond, obviously. There's a lot of great guys that we lost in the SEC last season. I'm definitely missing some, but those were the guys that first popped into my head. And I'm going to be ranking all 14 with a quotation mark, because there are some teams that I just have their team name down as their quarterback because they are still in quarterback battles that I cannot definitively call yet. But I'm going to go down 14-1. I'm not sure if I'm just going to read out the list and then explain it, because I don't really have stats for all these guys. I think it's pointless at this point just to go down and explain what makes this quarterback good, what makes this quarterback bad, and just, I don't think there's a need for that. So I'm just going to go down quickly, rank them all, and then I'll kind of explain why I have each person or certain people where and everything like that. So I'll run down the whole list right now. At 14, I have Kentucky QB. Obviously, in brackets, you're going to have Bo Allen, you're going to have Joey Gatewood, and then you're going to have Levis, the transfer from Auburn, coming in. So those are, I still don't know. I don't know who. I've been saying I think Joey Gatewood's going to be that guy. Lots of people think Bo Allen. A couple of people might think Levis, but it's definitely not enough for me to call yet. 13, I have Ken Seals. 12, I have Luke Doty. 11, I have Will Rogers. 10, I have Auburn QB. Obviously, that is Bo Nix, TJ Finley, or Demetrius Davis, who a lot of people are starting to become very high on Davis. 9, I have KJ Jefferson. 8, I have Tennessee QB, Harrison Bailey, Joe Milton, Hendon Hooker, Brian Maurer, still to be determined, TBD. 7, I have Haynes King. 6, I have Connor Baselick. 5, I have Emory Jones. 4, I have Miles Brennan. Now, the top 3 is where it gets interesting, because my initial top 3, obviously, the guys are staying the same, but not in the same spot. My initial top 3, I'm pretty sure I had JT Daniels at 3, Bryce Young at 2, and Matt Corral at 1. Now I have Bryce Young at 3, JT Daniels at 2, and Matt Corral at number 1. So this is current, who I think are the top 14 quarterbacks in all the SEC. So I'm just going to go through and explain a couple of these guys. I think we save the top 5 for the last. So let's start off with talking about 14. I just have not seen enough from any of the Kentucky QBs. I don't think anyone has, to say that they're going, and it's not like that these guys are being talked about on a national level that they're going to go out and do amazing things for Kentucky next season. So I think for that reason, that's why I have them at 14. Not to say that they're not great guys. They can't be great quarterbacks next season. It's just at this current time, we have not seen enough from either of these guys to be like, they're going to go out and they're going to have a great season for Kentucky. 13, Ken Seals. I think Vanderbilt's just in a really tough spot, and you could put a lot of guys in that quarterback position for Vanderbilt and not see them perform as well as you would at other schools. It's just the situation that you get to put at Vanderbilt. So I have Ken Seals at 13. 12, Luke Doty, who's obviously my team's quarterback. I've seen him a lot lower. I've seen people put him at 14 and stuff like that, which just makes me laugh. I think that I put him so low just because he only played 3 games. He played Missouri, he played Georgia, and he played the last game against Kentucky. There's still lots more to be determined and lots more experience to be had for Luke Doty, but I tell you, the upside for him, if he can nail his deep balls, if he can add on accuracy to his deep balls, he is going to jump up these rankings immensely by the end of the season. So definitely watch out for Luke Doty. Number 11, we got Will Rogers, obviously Mississippi State's quarterback, played towards the end of the season, and I thought he did decently well for Mississippi State. Obviously, still lots to be told for him. Number 10, I got Auburn QB. It still looks like Bo Nix is going to be the starter, and it's just consistency. Consistency is so hard to find with Bo Nix, especially traveling on the road. TJ Finley, we could see there, or obviously I talked about Demetrius Davis, who is a guy coming in for Auburn, which a lot of Auburn fans are excited for. Just too many question marks all over that Auburn quarterback position for me to rank them anywhere higher than 10. 9, I have KJ Jefferson. Talked about him a bit in our earlier segment with my Arkansas expectations and everything like that. I think KJ is a great quarterback. I think he's got a good arm, but again, still lots to be told about him. 8, we got Tennessee's quarterback. I think Harrison Bailey's the guy. I also think Hendon Hooker, and I even think Joe Milton. I think Brian Mauer's kind of out of the picture. I bet that he's kind of the 4th string guy there, but I look at Joe Milton and Hendon Hooker and Harrison Bailey. either one of those guys, I think you're going to have the potential to do something really, really special next season, whichever guy you go in with there. So I have him at 8. Again, there's so many question marks to see which guy actually goes him that I can't rank him above other guys. Haynes King taking over the reins for the first season at Texas A&M. I'm excited to see what he has. The O-line's going to be a struggle for him early on, but hopefully they can glue and gel that O-line together and he'll be successful. At number 6, I have the SEC or co-SEC freshman of the year determined by the coaches last season, Connor Bazelak, who I think has a really, really good wide receiving core this year. Obviously, you're going to have like your Knox, your Chisholm over there in Mizzou. So I think that he's set up really well, and I think he had an amazing season last year. Lots to look forward to for Connor Bazelak. Number 5, I got Florida's first-year starter coming in with Emory Jones. Just turn on the tape of this kid in the Cotton Bowl when they finally took Kyle Trask out for a bit. This guy can play against top-level defenses because Oklahoma's defense was still really, really good last season. Still lots to be told for Emory Jones, but the clips that you have seen of Emory Jones and what's coming out of spring and everything like that, people are really high on this kid, and I think that he is definitely, at this current time and moment, one of the top 5 quarterbacks in all the SEC. Number 4, so this is where it really, really gets interesting when we start talking about the top 4 guys. I was really, really questioning not changing the number 4 spot, but not putting Myles Brennan. I was thinking about putting LSU QB because I don't think that is still set in stone that Myles Brennan is going to be your guy going forward. I think that Max Johnson still has a good chance, a really, really good chance of becoming the quarterback at LSU. If you watch the spring game, I really, really liked how Max Johnson was throwing the ball. He was throwing it accurately. Not to say that Myles Brennan wasn't, but I think Max Johnson still needs a definite look, but right now I do have Myles Brennan, putting him at number 4. I think we all forget that this guy almost threw for or maybe he did throw for 1,000 yards in his first 3 games against. They had Mississippi State, then Vandy, then they played Mizzou. Obviously, they lost 2 of those. They only went 1-2, but Myles Brennan had upwards towards 1,000 yards, or he might have surpassed that point. The kid can throw the ball around. They still got tons of talent at the quarterback position in LSU. It's all the other parts of the offense. It's the defense as well. How much can you limit the scoring to determine how LSU will do this season? Number 3, I have Bryce Young. We all know the talent that Bryce Young has, and in my last rankings or whatever, I ranked him number 2. Why I kind of dropped him back is just because I feel like I was a bit too high on him at that point that I didn't. Not to say that he's not going to be a great guy, but let's be honest, we haven't seen this guy in serious game situations, in meaningful game situations yet. So for me to put him as the number 2 guy in the SEC when you still got guys like JT Daniels and Matt Corral left who have proven that they can be consistent at this level, I just felt like it was a bit immature on my part. So I am putting Bryce Young at 3 at this current point in time. JT Daniels, I'm putting number 2. Obviously going to have some great weapons around him in Georgia next season. I think that the passing attack will definitely open a lot more up for Georgia next season. Excited what Monken and now JT Daniels with all these new weapons around him are going to do next season. I think something really, really special is brewing in Georgia. And my number 1 spot, I'm sticking with Matt Corral. Until I'm proved otherwise, that Matt Corral, obviously take out the Arkansas game, and I know you might say, how on earth do you just take out the Arkansas game? The guy threw 6 interceptions in that game. Everything else, Matt Corral has been one of the best quarterbacks in all of college football. Matt Corral is a seriously good and talented guy, and until I see otherwise, until I'm proved otherwise, when JT Daniels goes out and hangs 40, hopefully on Clemson or something like that, I'm still going to have Matt Corral at my number 1 spot. So those are my rankings. 14, Kentucky QB. 13, Kent Fields. 12, we got Luke Doty. 11, we got Will Rogers. 10, we got Auburn QB. 9, we got KJ Jefferson. 8, we have Tennessee QB. 7, we have Haynes King. 6, we have Connor Bazelak. 5, we have Emory Jones. 4, we have Myles Brennan. 3, we have Bryce Young. 2, we have JT Daniels. And at number 1, I have Matt Corral.